Hello again, everyone. Going to be doing something different in this video. This is a plastic model kit, and back in the 60s when I was growing up, my brother and I put together quite a few of these. We called them model car kits back then, and there were trucks also, but it's a plastic model that you glue together. So I thought this winter, can't get outside and do a lot, be a good hobby to spend some time doing. This will be the first model I'm going to put together, and I will be painting it. Now, I am going to be detailing the models that I put together as good as I can. Let me show you the one I have here that we're going to start with. This is a 53 Ford AMT, and AMT's been around a long time in model kits. The others, popular ones, are Revell and Monogram. I can remember those, and there's several others now that are selling these. But this is an AMT kit. This is called a Coca-Cola Special, and you can see it's got the Coke emblem on the door, and it comes with a Coke machine. It's a die-cast vending machine, and then a little dolly that it sets on like you were a Coke distributor and you were out delivering a Coke machine. We're going to be building it this color that you see here, the red with the white letters and the red wheels, white wall tires. And of course you can build a kit any way you like. Here's an example on the side of this one. They showing it white. Still has a Coke emblem on the side, but that's a little different. White wheels. We're going to get started, so let's open this up and see what's inside. You open them up, I remember these having parts trees where all the little plastic parts were cast and you had to cut them off the trees. They had real rubber tires. First thing I see is this Coke machine and a dolly taped to the inside there. There's some tires. Like we have 4 tires and a spare. Chrome parts. There's the body, truck body, the bed, and the frame. Here's the instruction manual. It says paint colors. I do remember that from when I was a kid and put these together. They would give you paint colors for each part, and you could choose to paint them the color they suggested. And here's the decals. I kind of like the red, so I think we're going to go with the red, and then we would use these white letters right here. Here's some of the paint I have. This is, of course, brush type. That'll cover a lot of the colors that are listed on the instruction sheet. We'll need to do some spray painting on the body and the bed, the main part of the truck. So let's get started painting on the parts. Here's all the parts on the trees, and there are numbers by each part. Maybe you can see them there. There we go. There's 14, 11, 19, 4, 5. And we'll turn our instruction sheet to the engine, and it'll tell us what color to paint all of those parts. about to finish all the parts that are black. This is a gas tank, didn't paint it. We're going to pick a different color now and see what we need for that. We'll take one more look at each parts tree and just make sure that I have things painted that should be. This is pretty much all engine parts here. And some of these are used on the custom engine with the chrome, and I'm not doing that. I'm just doing the stock engine like you see here. So I think we're good on, I think all of this is for the chrome engine. Here's 76. That's a license plate holder, and there's 77, the license plate. So we need to paint both of those silver. Painting the front and rear springs a silver color. Clean my brush out. Well, I think that takes care of the parts that we need to paint with the brush. Might have missed some, but we'll see when we go to doing assembly on the truck. So next we're going to spray. We got the fenders, tailgate, wheels, more wheels, the hood, the bed, and the body. A couple of hours to paint the parts with the brush. I thought I'd go ahead and get started on the engine. That's with the instructions, that's step number 1. So we'll do it. And this is just a little file I have in case there's some pieces that still have, let me see if I can show you here. See that engine block, there's a little bit of material left there from the tree, so you just take the file and file it off. You know, I suppose you could take all of the parts off, sand them, make sure they're smooth, and then paint them, but it's just easier to handle. For me, just leave them on the paint tree or on the plastic tree. Easier to do. I wanted to show you on this fan belt assembly. This cover glues onto that top pulley, and where that glues on, I've scraped the paint off. You always want to do that because glue doesn't work very well when you put it on top of paint. And there it is, glued on. All right, engine is assembled. So we'll set it over to the side and let everything dry. Next step is tires and wheels, but we don't have the wheels painted yet, so I'm going to move on to step 3, which is a frame, differential, exhaust system. We'll get all of that completed. Then we're going to be at a stopping point until we get some body color sprayed on. For a paint, I'm going to mount the fenders. Go like that. There's some of the tree that had to break off of this one. And got it looking pretty good around the edge. And we have some rough edges here on the cab of the truck too. We'll have to file off, smooth them down. Out here in the house garage, we got both doors open, plenty of ventilation. Here's the paint I'm going to use. It's called Apple Red. It's a really, really bright red. So first I'm going to paint the underneath of the bed and inside the cab, under the hood, and those are the wheels, tailgate, and there's a coat machine. We need to paint red. I've taped off the part that stays white, and the rest of it will be red. And that's just a light coat. So we'll let that dry a little bit, get sticky, and we'll put one more coat on those. Let them fully dry, and then we'll be ready to paint the top side. Here's what I came up with to hold the parts when I paint them. These are just wood blocks fastened to this board. Worked out pretty well. And we had a little rain earlier today for a change. But now the sun's kind of peeking through, so we got it here in the doorway, letting the sun help it dry. Here's our coat machine. We need to put one more coat on it. Well, while we're letting the body of the truck dry a little more, the wheels were dry, so went ahead and mounted the tires and wheels, the hubcaps. Let's get started here on the cab. Chrome grill mounts in this front pan that goes between the two fenders and under the hood. Radiator's right in here. So you can see I scraped the paint away. And same on this. That way we get a good glue surface. Sits in there like that. Right now we're going to proceed with the instructions. First thing is a radiator, and it's right here. The top of it just slides down against the top of the cross member like that. Number two is a horn, and it goes in that hole right there. Okay, have the dash put in and the glass, the rear view mirror, and the hood, it pivots, so we've got to put this clip at that pivot point. It snaps down between the hood and the body. See that little slot there where it goes? Right there. But the paint on this it's dry, but I don't want to take a chance on maybe scuffing the paint, letting it, because it's not cured really good. So I'm going to wait a little while, probably another day, before I attempt to put this hood on. I really need to do it next because this firewall goes in right here, and it's going to be hard to get in there to that clip with the firewall there. So they're actually showing putting the hood on first. So we're gonna let the paint dry a little better, and we'll get back on it tomorrow. There's a cab mounted on the chassis. And there's the interior. You see I painted the bottom of the bed with the brown paint to kind of mimic wood. Have everything put together. Just need to put some decals on and maybe do a little detailing on these door handles and the door lock, and then on the side of the hood and the emblem here on the front. Do a little touch up on it to make it stand out. Close to being finished. Well, what do you think? Got all the decals on? There's a Coke machine in the cart. Got the decals put on it. And that's what it's supposed to look like. I think we matched it pretty well. And here's one last look after some final touch up. The wiper arms, the edge of the vent window, and the letters on the tailgate. Well, we hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, how about giving us a like and subscribing to our channel? Thanks.